Welcome back to Moving to Hampton Roads. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 4 fantastic neighborhoods that are all around Christopher Newport University in Newport News, Virginia. So whether you're PCSing to Fort Eustis or Langley Air Force Base, taking a new job at Riverside Hospital, or even taking a new job here at CNU, these are going to be amazing options. They're 4 of the best neighborhoods in the entire city. I know you're going to love them, so stick around and we'll get right to it. My name is David Tortellini, and I help people just like you buy and sell property here in Newport News and throughout all of southeastern Virginia. If this is your first time to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you can get alerted to all of our future videos. And then when you're ready to make your move, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I would love to help you out. So I'm at Christopher Newport University right now, and it's just a stunning campus. We're centrally located in Newport News, kind of along the western shore near the James River. And really the neighborhoods we look at today are some of the most desirable living areas in the entire city. So we're going to look at some beautiful housing. We're going to start down by the river in Riverside, and then we'll head up to James Landing, take a look at a great neighborhood in the Deep Creek area, and then head across the street on the other side of Warwick over to Glendale. So we're gonna look at 4 great neighborhoods. You'll see a variety of housing. I think you're really gonna like it. So we're gonna start off in Riverside. Let's head down there right now.
Okay, well, I had to start down here, and this is Lions Bridge leading up to Riverside, and really just needed to show you this little slice of heaven here along the James River that's gonna lead us into the community. And this really is one of the selling points for living in Riverside is your access down here to Lions Bridge, to the James River, and to Noland Trail, which is one of the best hiking trails in southeastern Virginia. 5-mile loop. There are some shorter ways to do it too, but really just wanted to start you off here and just kind of show you this little piece before we head into the neighborhood. And so what we're going to be talking about today when we're talking about Riverside is this whole area behind Christopher Newport University is called Riverside. So there's this huge area called Riverside. But for the sake of today's video, we're really just focusing on the space you see here on the map with Riverside Drive up to Country Club and these kind of vertically positioned streets that kind of connect them. And so we're just going to kind of go up and down all of those streets for today's tour as we talk about it. Now, other neighborhoods will actually get on foot because we'll be in smaller places and we'll get on foot and we'll look at them. But here we're going to just, we're just going to drive for the whole thing and talk about the neighborhood of Riverside, or at least this section of Riverside. Really in this video, I wanted to focus on the area, closest to the water and kind of what you get, what are the great benefits are of being in Riverside. Now, where we just passed was a private beach for the community. Now, this is not an HOA, but that is a private beach. So you can see here, as I walk down this beach, you can see this is just a beautiful location where people gather. It's maintained by the local civic association, Riverside Civic Association. So it is private. So you have to actually live here in Riverside to come down to this beach. But then they use it for some activities like an Easter egg hunt and a lot of like little local community gatherings and things like that. But it's this beautiful little private beach that everybody here in the neighborhood has access to. It's really special. It's beautiful. So a pretty special little part of living in Riverside. Now, this neighborhood, I mentioned, it's really big. Overall, it's like 1,000 houses. But the section we're going to focus on today, these are a lot of like 1950s and 1960s construction, and really what you're seeing here is a extremely diverse set of housing. So you're going to be looking at anything from a 1,300 square foot home that currently, and it's May of 2023, that might sell for $250,000 up to 5,000 square feet that are not waterfront, because I'm sure you've noticed there's some waterfront homes down along the end here. And really you could be looking at 5,000 square foot house for $650,000-$700,000 not on the water, and then you get on the water right on Riverside Drive And those houses are really going to be anywhere between $1 and $3 million. So you're really looking at luxury, waterfront mansions in those situations where if you stick around through this part of the video as we continue to drive, we do eventually get to all of those homes. So, as we kind of come up here on Riverside Drive, you can get a little bit of a feel for them. You can kind of see right there a little bit of water. You start to see some of the more modest ones, but when we get to the end of the video, you really are just seeing extremely high-end homes. I think there's one on the market right now for $2.7 million, and this White House, absolutely stunning. So this is a really interesting neighborhood in that this is an older part of town, but it is an extremely desirable part of town. And this is the place in Newport News where people who have lived here for a couple of generations, they flock to this area. This tends to be the place where the doctors, the lawyers, the administrators at Christopher Newport University live. This is, engineers at the Shipyard. This is a place where a lot of the who's who in Newport News, this is where they live. So being down in this Riverside area is very, very nice. And there's a lot going on around the CNU area. So it's not just being here for the sake of being here, but around CNU, you're going to have some great restaurants like Schooners. You're going to have a plaza with Panera in it, along with your tropical smoothie, a great cafe called Captain's Den. That's actually the same as Aromas in Colonial Williamsburg. So you're going to get those great things with Chipotle and Starbucks next to each other. And then you even just get you get the best grocery store in Newport News is a Harris Teeter that's right here. But there's also a plaza with a Food Lion and a breakfast place called Birds that's extremely popular, and Azzurri, which is great pizza and Italian food, and then a place called Beervana, very popular, and a great sushi place, OMG Sushi, if you want to do the all-you-can-eat. So there's a lot kind of happening in this area that really just makes it so desirable to live here. Your proximity to Christopher Newport University, you're right behind the campus, but this area that we're focused on today is far enough away from campus that you're not getting college housing. So that's one of the things. If you are up right behind campus, you are going to get a lot of college housing. You're going to get the rugby players and all that are going to be kind of living there and maybe making a little bit of noise further up. And the houses aren't quite as big, a lot more kind of starter homes and things like that up that way. So really wanted to focus on the area where people are really looking for long-term housing, because these are the kind of houses where people tend to live in them for 20 or 30 years. And so this being this beautiful established part of the community, I just think that really for anyone who is looking for one of the top tier neighborhoods in Newport News, this is the place to be. Now, as I mentioned, you are looking usually at older housing. So the idea that you're going to come into Riverside and find a 2022 build, 23 build, that's probably just not really going to happen in this particular part. You can go down the street and find that, but it's just not going to have this full feel. And so now we're on Riverside Drive, and we're going to head down in one direction, and then we'll eventually turn around and go back down so you can see all the waterfront homes along the James River here. So really just a special neighborhood. Not too much more to say. I'm just going to turn it over to a little bit of music, and then we'll play through. Definitely stick around, see the gorgeous houses on this street, and then we will head on over to our next neighborhood.
All right, well now we're back on foot and we're in a neighborhood called James Landing. Just want to kind of give you a good perspective. I really wanted to get on foot in this neighborhood so I could show you around. We are going to drive it at the end so you can take a look. But this is a beautiful neighborhood, and we're down off of Hayden Boulevard. So we're just up the street. A little further up the region is called Haydenwood, but this is James Landing, which is a specific subdivision of about 220 homes in the area. And this is definitely a move up type neighborhood. Most of the homes in here are going to be selling for, the larger ones are selling for about 500 to 700,000, but there are some opportunities for some of the smaller homes up at the front of the neighborhood to get into those for in the 350 to 450 range. So there are opportunities in here at slightly lower prices. Now the thing here is that the median size of a home in this neighborhood is 3,000 square feet, over 3,000 square feet by just a few. But so really big homes, but the small end, 2,000, they go up to like 7,800 square feet. So you have Lake Queen Anne kind of in the middle of the neighborhood, and the homes that are right around that are all, they're large, they're on the little lake, and they are, they're selling for 650 to 700. So they're going to be much more expensive. Then you can even get down to River's Edge Drive, and be on the James River there, and you're looking at just kind of like over in Riverside, you're looking at the $1 to $2 million range for those homes. So this neighborhood though, just filled with a lot of different style homes, like you get Dutch colonial, more like a traditional farmhouse almost, rancher. It's got like a Spanish style, all right on the same cul-de-sac. So you're going to get a ton of different opportunities to look at different types of houses in here, mostly big, fairly on the little bit more expensive end, but just this subdivision in general, really one of the prettier places in Newport News. I think anybody who's really looking to be in kind of one of the higher end neighborhoods here in the city, this is a really great place for you to be. And I just really wanted you to be able to take a look at it on foot. And why don't we get in the car and let's just drive around for a few minutes so you can kind of get a good feel for the whole thing. As I mentioned, it's 220 homes, so decent sized subdivision. Everything's spread out a good bit. People have, pretty common to have about a 0.4 to a half acre lot here. So it's a nice kind of, you got a little bit of space here in this neighborhood. And yeah, I think let's get in the car and we'll drive around. All right, now we're in Hidden Estates, and this is a beautiful neighborhood down off of Deep Creek. So we're really just about a half mile up the road from where we were, and this is a great neighborhood filled with a lot of really big, beautiful homes, and actually even some, some starter homes in this area too. But I don't think it's a coincidence. Whose sign is that? Oh, it's almost like I planned this whole video around my new listing at 337 Lynchburg. So that is going on the market the day after I filmed this, and so that should be available for you to go take a look at if you want. So this neighborhood's really great. Was built in 4 phases. So you're looking at homes that were built, the ones that are right here, these are the newest. These were built in the early 2000s. But as we walk, you're going to see that we're going to get into some homes that were built earlier. So you have some 60s construction here. You have some 80s construction, some 90s construction. It was almost like they built it in 4 little phases that really eventually brought it all to complete the whole neighborhood. And so being here up off Deep Creek, you can come out and you've got a great place called like Dean and Dawn's. That's like a farmer's market up the street, and then you just really get like a big, great community feel here. But I actually have 2 clients that currently live in here, one kind of right where we started and one just a little bit down the road here in one of the older homes, and everybody loves it. So it's a lot of families, there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood, so expect that. But most of these bigger homes that we're seeing, they're going to be a little smaller than the last neighborhood we were at. So a large home in this neighborhood, I think the biggest homes are about 4,000 square feet, but most of them are going to be kind of in that like 2,400 to 2,700 type square foot range. So that's going to be pretty typical. And then I'll turn this around real quick. We're coming up on kind of one of the older phases in the neighborhood where there's still these beautiful homes, big yards, and really just some great styles. Like, kind of got like a bit of a Tudor look going on over here. So we're in the older section now. And if you go further down the street, you're going to be able to see that there are kind of more like some starter homes. So you can get into this neighborhood at like 1,300 square feet. That's, 3-bed, 1.5 bath type house. And that's going to be kind of your starter home. Those might be ranging in the, 250 to 350 sort of range for one of the older homes, some of the smaller stuff. The newer homes of where we started, those are pretty big. Those are going to be kind of in your, 410 to 465, 470 sort of range. So really depends on just kind of where you end up. And this is such a unique neighborhood since it has these different age groups of the homes. So, you really can run the gamut in this neighborhood. So it really depends on what your price point is and what's available. You can get in at a bunch of different options and really have the opportunity to be in this fantastic neighborhood. All right, so I want to drive you around like we normally do, and we'll take a look at the whole neighborhood. Alrighty, now we're in Glendale. This is our fourth and final neighborhood for the day. And this is, when we talk about Glendale, we're talking about this trapezoidal shape that's across the street from CNU. So really, anything in here, we just call Glendale. In reality, it's like 4 or 5 different little subdivisions that all combine for about 1,100 homes or so. But as far as anyone that lives in Newport News is concerned, it's just all Glendale. Like, no one knows the names. Like, one of them is Old Farm Estates. And the only reason I know that is because I had a listing and I had to input it into the MLS and I learned it was called Old Farm Estates. I had no idea. So really what you're looking in this neighborhood is a lot of, 50s through 80s construction, mostly 60s and 70s, and you're going to get a lot of brick ranchers, a lot of starter homes, and some ranchers that have had a little expansion done to them. And then you're going to get those 2-story kind of brick and vinyl homes like the one that I kind of spun around and showed you a second ago. And really, this neighborhood, great opportunity to get your first home in here. You can get into one of the starter homes that's around 1,100 to 1,600 square feet for like the 230 to 300 at the very high end in this neighborhood. And then kind of those bigger homes, those are going to go anywhere from about 325 up to 400. And they might top out around 2,600 square feet. So you're not looking at huge homes in this neighborhood. So I know a couple of the neighborhoods we've looked at so far, it's been really big houses. And I know that's not an opportunity for everybody. And especially if you want to be on one level, so you might be relocating to the area and want to get down to one level. Well, you've got these great, brick ranchers right here in Glendale, and you're right across the street from CNU. And the thing I like about this neighborhood more than anything else is that it's such a great value to be in the same area as those other really expensive neighborhoods and have access to all the same things. So Noland Trail, 30 seconds down the street. Same shopping centers, same restaurants, same grocery stores. So this is the value buy in the neighborhood, in my opinion, that gives you this. And it's a huge subdivision. There's a bunch of winding roads. You can really get lost in here. There is a community pool up back to where we kind of started. So there isn't an HOA here, but there is a community pool that you can join, and really popular with all the kids in the neighborhoods. There's tons of kids here, but the ages range because some of the people that built these houses still live in them. So this is just another opportunity to be really close to CNU, which is a phenomenal part of town. And this opportunity here, though, is a really great value. Thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you really found it helpful and gave you a good understanding of what some different neighborhood options are in the Christopher Newport University area in Newport News. I really do think this is one of the best places that you can possibly live in the city. So hopefully one of these was a good fit for you. If they weren't, let me know. I'll see if there's some other options out there for you. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those below and I'll reply to them as soon as possible. I'll also put some links in the description of home searches for the different neighborhoods we looked at, so you can see what's currently for sale in each of the 4 neighborhoods. Then when you're ready, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. I'd love to help you out with your move to Newport News. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, share it with anyone else you know who may be moving to the area, and subscribe to this channel. Again, my name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Thanks so much for watching.